Do I look fat?
Hey guys, welcome to the Do I Look Fat podcast. It's your girl, Stephy Kiss. I know I say this all the time, but for real, y'all, I'm excited for today's guest. She is a fellow New York hottie, someone who knows how different the Upper East Side is, and a genuinely nice girl. My dental hygienist, Erika. Hey, boo, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show, honestly. We just recently met. She is literally my dental hygienist. We met a couple of months ago when I went for my cleaning, and it was just so like fire to walk in and into a doctor's office on the Upper East Side and see someone who actually is doing the work look like me. Like that's so
Same.
fire.
I think that's so important, like extremely.
Representation is really big, and it's like we just clicked as soon as I saw you. I was like, hey girl, how are you?
Same. Same. And it's not every day that I get patients that look like me. So I love coming across people like us.
Right, definitely. So like I said, Erika is a dental hygienist there on the Upper East Side. She works with all the snooty people like I do. um, um I do want to play a little game, a little icebreaker. It's a would you rather. Okay. So it's just a
Okay,
couple
love
of
it.
things.
Yeah.
And you're going to pick it and tell me why you picked it. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is electric or manual toothbrush?
Electric. Electric. That's not even a question. A manual toothbrush will absolutely do nothing. It's so old school.
But you know what? That's what we grew up using. So it's like
I
now. And
know.
toothbrushes were so expensive. The electrical ones were so expensive. But Erika put me on to a brand.
Yes, Burst. I love Burst because electric toothbrushes are expensive. They go for like $200. But I'm about bougie on a budget because not everybody gets the discounts that I get.
Right.
So I found this brand called Burst, and through referral of a dental hygienist or a dentist, the patient would get it for like $40 rather than 70, which is still super cheap compared to other brushes. But it's just the best thing ever. It's like a dupe for the Sonicare $200 diamond clean.
I love it. So when I had my appointment with her, I asked her, I was like, I was gonna buy the Quip one because like you guys listen to podcasts, you know that everybody talks about Quip, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy me a Quip toothbrush. It has the little buzzing, so it tells you when to like switch sides or whatever. So I asked her about it. She was like, no, girl. She was like, go to Burst. She sent me the email, and I'm gonna actually link her referral code down below, so like you guys can get her referral too, because I love that toothbrush. It's a little big. I'm not gonna hold you.
A little, yeah.
I was just like, okay, like my hand is very small, and the base of this toothbrush is a little it has some girth, I will say.
Yeah, I agree.
But I love it. Okay, so the next one. Do you prefer floss or those little toothpick sticks
The
thing?
sticks?
Yeah, not the sticks, but like with the floss on it.
Oh, okay. So this is a tough one because normal floss is so much better, but the floss picks, that it's like
right, yeah.
Yeah.
She just made like a little hand gesture. It looked like the little D.
Oh, look, I always have floss by me.
Right.
These.
Yes.
This should tell you the answer. I literally have a floss pick in my hand. They're not as thorough as regular floss, but they make it so much easier. Like, you can literally pop them in between any tooth.
I think that's what my problem was with regular floss. It's just so uncomfortable. And then like my bottom teeth are so close together, like it would get stuck, and it was just a mess. Like,
it's a mess. Yeah. And it kind of like you lose circulation on your fingers when you're not holding it right. Like it's not fun, but floss picks are fun.
Right. And you can take them anywhere. Like I would feel better like using a floss pick, like not necessarily like outside in the street, but you know, like discreetly, like, you know,
Girl, it's me. I'm the girl in the street flossing. literally me. I keep these in my purse all the time.
Yeah, I love them. Okay, so number 3. This is a New York question. Brooklyn or Queens?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Brooklyn.
Why?
It's a little more cultured. How about you?
Well, for me, most of my booze come from Brooklyn. I don't know
Ooh,
what it is about Queens. I've never liked Queens. I
I've
don't
never
know
liked it
if it's
either.
I don't know if it's the streets. I feel like the streets are stupid and it gets on my nerves. Like, why
They
is there
are.
a 30-second street, road, avenue? Like, I don't have time for all of that.
Same, same. It's so difficult to navigate. And who takes the E train and the F? Like, I can't.
Nobody.
And I
No one
used to
takes
go
that
to
shit.
school in Queens, and it would take me almost 2 hours to get there every day.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it
Especially
literally
since, like,
is.
if you look at a map, the Bronx and Queens are
Mm-hmm.
not that far apart from
They're
each other.
not.
It's just that Queens is also so fucking massive. Like, why is it so
Yeah,
big?
it's huge. For what?
For no reason whatsoever. Okay, so beach or pool?
Mm. Well, it depends for the occasion. If I'm gonna be in the water, the pool. If I want to be in the
Right.
sun, the beach.
Okay. Okay.
How about you?
I wasn't really a big fan of sand for a very long time. Like,
Hmm.
sand just it's annoying. It gets
It
on my
gets
nerves.
everywhere.
You have to, like, it literally everywhere, in your hair, in your bag, like, it's just it everywhere.
It is.
And I would always like the pool, but now during, like, COVID, there's no
Mhm.
pools. Like, pools are
That's
closed for the most part. They
true.
just reopened. I went to a pool in the Bronx over the weekends. Because Van Cortlandt pool is closed. They're not
Hmm.
opening for the season, which sucks
Oh
because we used to
wow.
walk right to the pool.
Oh,
And so we found another one. It's small. It was nice, but it's just out the way. So we've been going to the
mm-hmm.
beach more just because it's summertime activities. The beach is open. You can social distance a little bit better, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan.
The
I'm not a
sand.
fan
I
of
know.
New York beaches. I think that's what it is.
Same. I normally don't stay in New York for the
Mm-hmm.
beaches. Like I'd rather go to Connecticut, which isn't
Right.
that much of a difference, but it is though.
No, it
Like
is.
it is. It is.
Like, it's just a little bit different. Like, you could just tell once you walk into, like, a New
Hmm.
York beach, you're just like, this don't belong
Girl, don't get me started with Orchard.
Stop. I went to Orchard. Okay. So it's right there. It's right there. And I went, what I did though was that instead of, like, getting in the water, I would just go take the
Hmm.
shower. I would take a shower on the boardwalk when I got
I do
hot.
that too when I go there. Like I won't go inside the water in Orchard.
But it's kind of crazy because, like, the shower is right on the boardwalk and there's nothing but, like, 100 Puerto Rican guys just scattered, like,
Hmm.
staring at you. And you're literally, like, taking a shower in front of everyone, trying to, like,
I know.
putting on a
It's
fucking
so
show. It's
ooh.
terrible.
That makes me
But it'd be
anxious.
hot, so I don't care.
Yeah, it do be hot.
All right. So the last one is metal or plastic straws. And when I say plastic, I mean, like, the ones you keep, the reusable ones.
Oh, reusable?
Mm-hmm. So metal
Mm,
or plastic for the reusable.
that's a good question. I have both,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I guess shame on me because plastic is bad for the ocean and the turtles, but I'm
Right.
gonna go with plastic. How about you?
So again, same. I love straws because I don't. I've heard this, that if you drink coffee, you should drink it from a straw so it doesn't stain
Yes,
your teeth.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I always, even in Starbucks, hot coffee and all, I have my straw. I'm like, give me a straw
Same.
because I'm not staining my teeth. So
Hmm.
I would get that, but then the metal straws, I feel like they hit my teeth, and I also like to bite
Yeah,
straws, and that's not
me
good.
too. You must have anxiety or something
I
because
do.
same. It's a coping mechanism. I can't bite on metal and it hurts my teeth when it clicks.
Yes.
I hate
So
that
fun
feeling.
fact, that's why I had a tongue ring, and I actually got rid of it because the
Mm,
ball kept on hitting the side of
yeah,
my tooth. And I was just like, oh no. Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
end
that
up with,
can
like, a
literally break
cracked
your
tooth.
teeth. Yeah,
Yes.
that happens all the time.
It's
and you're like lose
ridiculous.
bone. It's a mess. It's a mess.
That sounds terrible.
10 out of 10 don't recommend.
I don't blame you. It honestly bothered me to the point where I was just like, oh no,
hmm
I can't do this. It's just too much.
I
Um,
had a smiley piercing
mm-hmm. A
for a
smiley.
long, long time. Yeah, it's like right under the lip in the frenum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not the one that kind of hangs low, but the one that stays hidden, which makes
Mm-hmm.
no sense. If I don't care.
It's just bragging rights. You're just like, you want to see what I got?
Literally, like, look. So when I was in school for dental hygiene, we were obviously working on each other's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
And I had already had it at this point for 7 years. And the professor, like, she looks in my mouth and she basically, like, nearly cursed me out,
Oh
telling me
my
that I'm foolish, childish, I'm this, and the third, that it's unethical, unprofessional. I'm like, damn, she
You
really
didn't
just
even
came
know
for
I
my
had
life.
it.
Right? Like, she did not know until she literally was, like, checking my mouth. So it's
Right.
like, damn, girl,
Oh
came for
my
my life.
goodness.
And I
I
didn't take it off because
wouldn't.
I thought I was a rebel. But eventually I was like, okay, it's time to adult. It's getting out.
Right. But so does that affect your teeth at all if it's underneath?
So it can affect the bone in the
Okay.
area because it's rubbing on it and it
Mm-hmm.
can cause bone loss, but that didn't happen to me, even though I
Okay.
had it for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Things like that always scare me, but ha-
Yeah.
what do you know about like tattoos in the mouth? Like the ones that you would get like underneath your
Okay.
lip? Do you have
So
one?
I don't, but I want one because I love like when I because we do like oral cancer screenings and we'll check the lips and this. I love seeing that. Like I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, that person has personality. Like I get along with them.
And it'll be the smallest little tattoo too. Like what have
hmm
you seen? What kind of tattoos
Oh
have you
my
seen?
gosh. So in school, one of my friend's cousins
Mm-hmm.
he's like this little petite, nice little white boy. He had fuck bitches get money on his and he's like a nice little white boy. Like you
Mm-hmm.
would have never expected it. That was so funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but I normally see curse words.
Okay, that makes sense. Like fuck
Yeah, like
you, shit. Like
yeah, literally.
suck my dick. Like
Literally. It makes no sense.
I love that though. Cause I would just be like
Like fuck you.
yeah. You don't have to say anything. It's gonna be a picture.
Literally.
All right. So we're gonna go into the next segment, which is Eat Your Heart Out, which is basically where we talk about like nutrition, diets, and things like that. So I wanted to talk about how dieting can actually affect your teeth. Okay.
Girl, yes. I was hoping this was gonna be a segment, and I'm gonna tell you
Good.
why.
No, yes, go ahead.
So, you know how apple cider vinegar is a thing? Like people drink apple cider vinegar for weight loss in the morning. That
Mhm.
fucks up your teeth beyond belief.
I did hear that you're supposed to dilute it if you drink it.
Even then, so
It's still that harsh.
it's still that harsh.
Oh,
It is.
wow.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll see your teeth and you think, oh, like they're stained yellow.
Hmm.
But only because they're yellow doesn't mean they're stained. It could be the acidity
Okay.
of whatever you're drinking, kind of like deteriorating your enamel. It's called
Hmm.
erosion. So it
Mm.
erodes the enamel, and then all you can see is the inner part of your tooth, which is more yellow, and it really, really sucks because it's not reversible.
Oh, and you can't fix
Yeah.
that.
Oh no, girl, whitening will not fix that.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So as I was looking this up, I wanted to have you on my show because I've
Mhm.
actually have been trying to get more into like a dental hygiene routine. So like,
Mhm.
everyone brushes their teeth, blah, blah, blah. But like people slack off. I mean, I know I do. I don't know about everybody else, but from time to time, people like, you're not really paying attention. Your mind is somewhere else. Did I brush for like 2 minutes or has it been just 30 seconds? Like we just don't know, right? So I'm
Yeah.
trying the toothbrush helps because you
Oh
literally have
God.
to brush your teeth the whole entire time
Until it turns off.
until it turns off. Yes, until it turns off. Um and then like carrying the floss sticks with me and things like that.
Yeah.
But also Burst sent me teeth whitening, like coconut
Oh
teeth.
yeah, I saw that they offer that. That's cool.
It was cute. I only used it like once, so I mean, I liked it. I think it worked fairly well, but
Mhm.
but Google. So I said all that to say this. I wanted
Mhm.
to have you on the show because I wanted to talk about mouth and
Mhm.
hygiene and all of that stuff, right? Body positivity. A lot of confidence comes from your mouth and your face.
It does.
Okay.
It really does.
I noticed that when I wasn't feeling all that great with about my mouth, I was smiling different. And I would
Mhm.
cover my mouth when I would laugh. And like now I don't feel that way anymore. So it's like I would look back at like videos. I feel
I'm
great.
so proud
I
of
would
you.
I know, can you see the difference a little bit?
Yes, girl.
I would look back at like videos and stuff and I'd be like, I'm always like this, like covering my face, covering my mouth. And it's because of that. Like, I guess I was just self-conscious about my teeth. So
Yeah.
I wanted to have you here. So I wanted to talk about how dieting can affect your dental hygiene and tooth loss, tooth decay, all of that stuff. So there are specific diets that can affect it. One of them being the keto diet, especially. So I don't know if you've ever heard of keto breath.
Girl, I have heard of it, but you don't, yeah. I honestly don't know why that causes a problem.
So it has actually nothing to do with like the food that you eat, but it's
Mhm.
because your body has transformed into ketosis. It's
Yeah.
literally like a chemical process that literally comes out of your mouth. The only way
Mhm.
to stop it or to like limit it is to like drink water, brush your teeth and floss regularly,
Mhm.
or eat carbs. Like that's it. Like so you either
Literally.
have to be on top of like your mouth game or
Mhm.
just fuck the keto diet and eat fucking carbs
Yo,
because
that's the keto diet, carbs. Let me stop.
right. I mean, we can't have some type of balance, like maybe just like a piece of bread daily or something. So
Right?
I don't know if I
I
would
don't
want
starve.
it's not just like bad breath, I heard. It's like
Mhm.
apparently your mouth smells like acetone. Could you imagine
Oh
tasting
my God.
acetone?
Yes, it's fruity acetone and it's a thing in diabetics. And ketosis kind of like
Mm-hmm.
stimulates the body to kind of have the same. It's weird. It's such
Yeah.
a weird thing. And I remember talking about that in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
truly remember that. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like I just don't think it's very healthy.
It's not healthy. So
It's
keto is
not.
very effective. I believe it was episode 1 that I talked about my keto
Mhm.
diet, and I lost a significant amount of weight in a very short amount of time.
Mhm.
And if you keep on it, like you can make it healthy to the point where like you're not malnourished, but
Mhm.
long term it's hard to stay on that diet, and it's
Mhm.
also it's hard to keep it up. Like
Yeah.
it's just not sustainable long term in my
Yeah.
opinion. In my
I do agree with you though. It's really difficult. Like yes, you do see results extremely fast. Like it's
opinion.
kind of scary how
Mhm.
fast.
Mhm.
Like I tried to get into it, but me and carbs, we just
Girl.
have this like undying love. It's a bond.
Listen, if you don't like carbs, I low key judge you. Like, if you tell me,
Same.
like, you just naturally, you're just like, carbs, gross. What? I don't have time. Let me go
Literally.
somewhere.
Literally. Don't even approach me. Like we're
Like,
not
you don't,
compatible.
there's so many types of carbs. You don't like one carb. Like, that doesn't even make sense.
Literally.
Doesn't make sense. Um, so another one was a low fat diet. So people who cut out too much fat in their diet, it can interfere with the absorption of fat soluble vitamins like
Mhm.
A, D, E, K.
ADEC. Yep.
Oh, ADEC.
Yes, girl, look at you go. It's just a little slang. Yeah.
So vitamin D is especially important for oral health, they say. Is it because of the
The
absorption of
absorption of
calcium?
calcium. Yes. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Okay, so how important is the bone health overall to like the general health? Like, is that like the most important part? Like, if your bones are messed up in your jaw, is that like terrible?
It is. And I'm gonna tell you why, unfortunately. It's called so it's periodontal disease.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about periodontal disease is that it kind of affects your whole body, because if you think about it, whatever you eat affects your body, right? And
Mm-hmm.
where is it going through? Like the first portal of entry is the mouth.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
really sucks. Like periodontal disease is linked to heart disease as well.
Oh,
So some people
really?
are like, "Oh, I'm young, I'm healthy, yet I had a heart attack." Well, the bacteria that causes periodontal disease, like you're constantly swallowing it throughout the day.
Mm,
Yeah, and
that
it's
makes
circulating
sense.
through your blood. Yeah.
Well, I've always been scared of like mouth infections. And it's
Mhm.
because like they say like the infection can go to your brain. And like that's the first thing I've ever heard.
I'm gonna tell you that I heard that, but not in school. Not in
So it's
school.
probably more so like you can have a heart attack. But our parents were like, look, it can go to your brain. You see how close it can go to your brain.
My mom.
You're fine, girl. That was funny. You know how
Sorry.
they are. You know how they are. They want you to answer when they call
Immediately.
you. Okay, so the last one I wanted to talk about for this was diet pills. So apparently, a lot of diet pills can give you dry mouth.
Yeah.
What do you suggest for people who have dry mouth?
So there's this thing called biotin, but not like the kind of not biotin. It's biotin, ends with an E, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like a jelly packet that you put in your mouth, and it stimulates saliva, so it kind of acts as saliva, keeping your mouth hydrated,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't taste amazing. And if you don't like that, you're gonna have to drink water all day. Yeah, it sucks.
What it tastes like medicine or like
It doesn't taste like medicine. It just tastes like jelly water. That's
okay.
just a tiny bit bitter. It's
Oh.
weird. But yeah, I would definitely recommend drinking water
But
throughout the
that's
day
good
because
for
we want to
like
keep it hydrated.
yeah, for sure. Okay,
Hmm.
so we're going to go into our next segment, which is something I really wanted to talk about. So, it's hard on my sleeve. So, like you guys know, part of my journey is being like transparent and showcasing my growth and things like that, and just being real to who I am, whether it's about weight loss or just about me in general. So, as some people may or may not know, I do smoke weed. Okay. Sorry, mom, if you're listening, but I do. We're not going to get into the reasons why I smoke. That's another episode. But I do smoke. And I think that's when I noticed that I did not like the way my mouth was looking. It was when I
Hmm.
was smoking more regularly. Okay. Um, so the first thing I asked you was, what can I do? What can a smoker do to make sure that their teeth are taken care of as best as they can? Like, I know we shouldn't be smoking because we should not. But I mean, it's 2020. If it's not weed, it's hookah. If it's not hookah, it's cigarettes. If it's not cigarettes, it's a vape.
Literally,
It's like
like it's always something,
it's
and
always
it's
something.
inevitable. Yeah.
So, what would be your recommendations for
I always say floss before you smoke. And it sounds silly, but you can come into my chair and I'll know if you smoke weed. And you want to
that?
know why?
Hmm.
Because the plaque that hardens up around your teeth, which we call, like in layman's terms, tartar, it turns black. It could
Hmm.
be from the wrap, the fonto, the this, the that, the weed, the paper that
Right.
you're, whatever it is. I always
The
know a
smoke.
smoker. Yeah,
Hmm.
literally. And I don't know how, but I can tell whether it's cigarettes
Hmm.
or weed. Like I just know because when I was in school, like half of my patients were like my brother's pothead friends. So I learned how to distinguish that real quick.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I say floss, just floss.
Floss. And then I do suffer after I suffer from dry
Dry
mouth.
mouth.
So drinking a lot of water. I always have a thing of water next to me. Um
Yeah,
because it just gets so dry and I hate that feeling.
me too.
Um I do. I really do. So let's see. As a dental hygienist, I did have something to ask because I do have a story about this. But
Hmm.
I wanted to ask you, have you ever had to tell someone that their teeth were fucked up?
Yes, yes.
Someone close to you?
It was a friend.
Okay.
So I have this thing where I can smell a cavity. I can smell if you need a root canal. I
Ooh.
can smell periodontal disease. I can smell if your wisdom teeth are coming in and they're infected. Like,
Ooh.
it's a thing. I'm
It,
telling you, it's a thing. It's a
well, I
thing. They
mean,
have,
you're around it all the time, so like you can
yeah,
differentiate the smells, right? Like,
yeah. And it's obviously not something that you want to talk about to your friend, like,
right.
yo. But it's like if you're a real friend, you're gonna tell them to go to the
That's a
dentist.
fact. That is
You're
a
gonna tell
fact.
them.
That is a fact. Um, so my story with this was once I was seeing this guy, a Brooklyn guy, of course, had to be from Brooklyn, right?
Of course.
And he was coming over, whatever, and everybody knows what this was about. So he's here and he's like, did you just smoke? And I'm like, I literally,
Oh shit.
it wasn't that recent that I really thought like I was good to go. And I was just so embarrassed because for
I
him to
probably
ask
tasted
me if I
it.
just smoked, it
Yeah.
must have been like, he must have been like, this is disgusting. Because like,
Oh
that's
my
why you
god.
had to have like asked that question. You understand what I'm saying? So I was mortified, and I promise you, like I literally like brushed my teeth, rinsed my mouth, all of that after I
Oh my
smoked now because
god.
I cannot go through that shit again. Like literally, I cannot.
I think I would have been like shaking. Because I get embarrassed off the stupidest shit. I think I literally was like,
Girl, I almost kicked
I'm
him
the
out.
type to ghost you after
Right?
that. Yeah,
I almost kicked him out.
literally.
But I was like, I guess, he didn't say it in a bad way. He wasn't being mean. Like, if it was me, like I would have probably not said anything to him and then never called him again. Like, so I guess it's better
Yeah,
that he like told me,
literally.
like, girl, like get your life.
I mean, at least he told you, I guess. Even
He
if it
still spoke
wasn't
to me
in
after
the
that,
best
so I guess it was
predicament.
fine.
Yeah,
I
like it
made
couldn't be
sure
too
like I
bad.
would literally like scrub my mouth before he ever came back ever again. He was probably like, okay, now this bitch only tastes like Listerine.
Like, did you just drink alcohol or something? Because imagine.
I would not even be surprised in the slightest. Okay. All right. So this was fun. And I did want to get into my last segment. Okay. So it
Ooh.
is the Are You Dead Ass? I just really want to know if people are dead ass half of the time, right? Before I start mine, is there anything that you want to rant about or anything that you want to complain about? No pressure,
Is this
but
my time to
it is your
shine?
time to shine, girl.
All right, all right. So, when a patient comes into my chair, I'm telling you the first words that come into my head are you dead ass? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're acting like they can tell me like, oh yeah, I brush my floss twice a day. Like I can see if you do.
Don't lie to me.
I can literally see. So the other day, I had a patient, and I was expecting good things because he told me that he brushes at least 3 times a day, water picks twice a day,
Ooh.
and also flosses in between meals with regular floss. So I'm like, oh, this is about to be a 15-minute appointment. Like, this is going to be fun,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
Right. Girl, I turned the light on
and,
in his
and you
mouth, and
called
I
for
was like,
assistance. You're like, I need help.
literally, I was just like, are you dead ass?
Sometimes
And I
that's
promise
literally the
you,
only question. Like like, are you for real right now? Like you can't be this dead ass.
and me being Bronx AF, I'm literally thinking, are you dead ass? Like, I constantly have that in my head. It was so bad. Like, his teeth were literally black from staining. And I'm responsible to remove every bit of staining. You know how long that
Oh
takes?
my goodness.
Oh,
They were black. Oh man. But it's like, why lie?
yeah.
Like you can see, okay, so a dental hygienist can see more of your teeth than you can actually see your own teeth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can see that there's some type of stain, imagine what the dental hygienist can see. Like, let's be real.
Exactly, because half the things I see are things you probably never even knew you had.
Thank you.
It's so
You
bad
can't
because
see
it's not
back
like
there. Like, you just can't
you
see.
can't. It's like so difficult to. Oh, so it's like staining is such a hassle. Like I don't even want to think about it. It stresses me out just thinking
So
about
how do
it.
you prevent the stains?
I say straw all the way. And also, like, because you get staining from what? Drinking coffee and wine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and tea and even soda, like
Right.
black
Anything of
liquid.
like
Like, if,
dark, yeah.
yeah, so even if you're not accustomed to the whole straw thing, 5 minutes after you finish that beverage, rinse.
Just rinse your mouth.
And the problem is that people sip on their coffees throughout the whole day, which one can cause cavities, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when you're drinking something other than water, because water it's very pH balanced
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Your body, like your saliva, the pH, it gets more acidic so that it can devour whatever it is, whether it's food or the beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So now your mouth is like at a lower pH, and that's what the bacteria in your mouth needs to kind of like cause a cavity, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they always say to try to like minimize your food and liquid consumption to 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That way it's not throughout like an hour, 2 hours.
So I'm terrible. I'm one of those people who drink coffee all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially
Mm-hmm.
I never finish my coffees. My coworkers yell at me all the time. They're like, "You really bought like a $5 coffee," and I literally drank like a quarter of it.
Because you're like sipping
Sip,
all
sip,
day.
sip, sip, sip. But it's like I can't sit here unless I'm like really like fiending for like an iced coffee, because I can't drink hot coffee unless it's really
Hmm.
cold outside, and even then I have to be in the mood for hot coffee. But like iced coffee, it's like, like a little treat or
It's
whatever,
so
right? Yeah, it's
good.
like, and
Yeah,
you get
it's
like,
so
the
good.
vanilla syrup and it tastes good, right?
It is.
But I can't chug that. Like I can chug a water,
Same.
but a coffee? Like that shit takes me forever. And then I
I
don't finish it because
feel
the ice melted and now it's not as good as it was when I first got it. It's just a whole big production. And I really just waste my money.
basically, that's exactly what it is, and it always happens. And it's like this was a meme at one point, but it was like those girls who kind of like hold the same coffee cup all
Hmm.
day, sipping on the
That's me.
same.
That's definitely me.
Yeah,
It's always in front of me. Like, hey guys.
the worst thing ever.
Okay, so my dead ass is completely, it has nothing to do with dental care. It's nothing to do with dental hygiene. It's just something that really pissed me off this past weekend. Okay. And it doesn't
Talk
even
to
have
me.
anything to do with me, which is wild, but whatever. With COVID, everything was pushed back, right? And that includes
Hmm.
wedding season.
Oh
So
my
I know a
god.
lot of people who either have just gotten married or are like trying to push, like cram a wedding in while it's still warm outside, like before it gets cold, right?
Hmm.
So one of my friends, she's part of a wedding and she has been going through it. Apparently, the bride has turned into Bridezilla and wants everyone to have an updo for the wedding. I don't feel like people should tell other people what to do with their hair. Like I feel like hair is such a touchy
It's
subject.
a touchy subject.
Like
It is.
not everyone can pull off the same hairstyles. Like, so my
No.
friend is like, I cannot wear a braid. Like the type of hair that I have, they're gonna have to either put a lot of hair to make it look some type of way. So now she's gonna look like fucking Julia Roberts from like Steel Magnolias with a whole bunch of curls and a whole bunch of hair. Or the braid is just gonna fall out because her hair is so soft. It's just like she's gonna look like a mess.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period is what she said, and I
It's sabotage.
it's such sabotage. And I
It
got
is.
upset because it's like, you're the bride. I'm going to need for you to have a little bit more confidence. If my hair being straight down is really going to affect your day that much, like you need to really look at yourself and figure out what the fuck is going on.
I agree. Like, those brides who will get their bridesmaids those really ugly dresses so that they can look nice in comparison. Like, you look dumb. Your wedding photos are going to look
Thank
dumber.
you. The wedding
You look
photos. If
insecure.
you thought I was going to have a bunch of bitches look stupid in my pictures that I spent thousands of dollars on just so I can look fire, first of all, I'm going to look fire regardless because it's my fucking wedding. Like,
Point blank period.
point blank period. And everybody came to see me. They didn't come to see Jessica. Like, they didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jessica who?
right. No shade to Jessica. She's beautiful, but no one's coming to see her. It's Stephanie's wedding. Okay. Everybody's going to be looking at me. I just think it just got me so upset. And every time she would talk about it, I would really get riled up as if it was happening to me. I was like, no, tell that bitch that she can't tell you what to do with her hair.
Listen, I feel riled up and I don't even know your friend. So imagine how she feels.
Bro. And then like the bride hit her back up and she was like, it's my wedding and everybody is supposed to do what I say. And I'm just like, girl,
shut the fuck up.
Right. Like, I don't even have time for you. So I said, I'm the type of petty that I will literally like shave my head the day before the wedding. Oh, you wanted to updo? Bitch, what hair?
Bitch, I'll give you no do. Yeah.
Now everybody really gonna be looking at me, the bald bitch, walking down the fucking aisle. I'm really a fool. I'm sorry, guys.
That's freaking hilarious.
But that's really how I feel. Like, how are you gonna tell me? She really told her that not to cut her hair before the wedding.
Not to cut her
Not
hair.
to cut her hair because she wanted to do, she does like a bob, right? So, you know, like a bob, you have to keep it at a certain length or else it's not a bob anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it just starts looking stupid.
Yeah.
She was like,
yeah, it's like at a weird in-between stage.
Everybody hates the in-between stage. Like, that in-between stage is so terrible.
It is.
And she was like, no, don't cut it until the wedding. I was just like, I wish somebody would tell my 35-year-old rent-paying ass that I can't cut my hair. Like we both did the same thing. Like, what? Excuse
me. So you want me to pull up with split ends?
She doesn't care about her pictures. She doesn't care about her pictures. That's what it all boils down to. Like, I don't care. And anyone who is planning a wedding out there, I just need for you guys to understand that everyone is coming to look at you. No one cares about everybody in your wedding party. And if they did, who gives a fuck? It's your wedding. You're just supposed to be happy that you're getting married. Like, isn't that the point?
It's true. Like, isn't it?
I just would want everyone in my party to be beautiful, because if they feel beautiful, then my pictures will be fired. Like, honestly, that's all the fuck I care about is my pictures. If I'm going to spend all of this money on this wedding, I want my pictures to be phenomenal. Like, I would rather spend more money on the pictures than, I mean, I don't know, maybe my dress. I don't know. I don't really plan on having a wedding.
I mean, let's be real. Like, the photos, that's the memory that you keep. You get to look back at that. Now, let's say you take a picture where you think you're happy, but your bridesmaids are miserable with like resting bitch face. And all of those pictures, you're gonna be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like,
like
they
what
just messed
there?
up everything. They're all mad, like fucking flipping the bird behind you, like fuck this bitch, suck my dick, all that. Like, that's some shit I would just be in the pictures rolling my eyes every single time. Like, I don't have time. I hate my hair. It's probably frizzy. Like, it's just terrible.
It is terrible. It is. It's so insecure. Like, brides, it looks kind of really sucks, but I'm not a bride, so I wouldn't know.
Right. And I've never been a bride. I've never planned a wedding, so I don't know about all that. But I don't know. I don't think I would ever just try to make my friends look dumb or bad so I can look better. That just seems so. It just seems like a bad quality to have.
It is. It's kind of like superficial, kind of grimy, like very grimy.
It's very grimy. Like, you already found your love. Like, what if my love was at your wedding and now he's not looking at me because I'm looking wild?
That's true.
That's fucked up.
Like, what if I just missed out on meeting my soulmate?
Right, because he's like, look at this dumb bitch with that braid in her hair.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, Erika, thank you so much for being on today's episode. So what we're going to say is we're going to take from this: floss before you smoke. Yes. Drink lots of water. And what else? Let's see.
Electric toothbrushes.
First. Promo code down below. No, but for real, thank you so much for agreeing to be on. This was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I will link your Instagram down below if you want?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Yeah, that was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank
I've always
you.
wanted to be on a podcast.
So this will come out this week.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Do I Look Fat podcast. Please follow me on Instagram, Fine and Thick Pod, exactly how it sounds. Everything will be linked down below. Thank you so much again, Erika, for being on the show. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yay. So this is a great episode.
Yeah, it has